Are you wondering about what the perlites and vermiculites are? Are they same? How to use those in a perfect way in your potting mix? When to use this and when to avoid? Are there any pros and cons of using this? In today's episode, we will gather complete information about the world of horticulture perlite and vermiculite and learn the best ways to put them as potting mix amendments. So do watch the entire video without skipping it. Perlite is made from volcanic rock, which is heated around 1000 degrees Celsius until it expands and transforms into small white pieces. This expanded volcanic popcorn can trap sufficient air inside them, making these much lighter and softer. Perlite consists of several natural inorganic minerals with a pH of 6.6 to 7.5, which is almost neutral. It is lightweight, odorless, clean and very easy to handle. As perlite is porous in nature, it also allows excess water to drain quickly. On the other hand, vermiculite is made of compressed dry flakes of all natural silicate materials. The color of vermiculite is golden brown to dark brown that sometimes resembles mica in appearance. For use in horticulture, vermiculite is heated and expanded. This expansion enables it to absorb moisture when used in potting medium. It can absorb 3 to 4 times in volume when water is added. Like perlite, also it has almost neutral pH of 7 to 7.5. Are they same? No. Although both perlite and vermiculite are lightweight, an excellent substitute for sand in soilless potting mixes like cocopeat or peat moss, there are major differences between them. The biggest difference is that vermiculite acts like a sponge and absorbs more water than perlite, and thus offering less aeration or less oxygen for plant's root. If you want your potting medium to retain more water, then add vermiculite. On the other hand, if you want well-drained medium, add perlite to it. You can also add a proper mixture of these two to get better results. Now coming to the most important question, when to use this and when to avoid. Both perlite and vermiculite have their own purposes in garden. You must know when to use this and when not to. You can use perlite if you have plants that need to dry out before watering again, plants like cacti, succulents or rhododendrons which need well-draining soil. Using vermiculite for this plant could lead to root rot or even death, as perlite can add aeration to your potting medium and also boost humidity as it releases water. It is an excellent choice when it comes to rooting or propagating your cutting or seedlings. On the other hand, vermiculite is a better choice when it comes to starting seeds because it protects seed trays against damping off or becoming too dry. That's why all the commercial seed starting mix contain a very good amount of vermiculite. My personal suggestion will be to use vermiculite about 20% in your seed starting mix. Remember that the seed starting mix needs to be sterilized properly before using. In the next video, I'll try to show how to make sterile seed starter mix easily at home. There is also a trick that I learned. After sowing the seeds, you can add a light layer of vermiculite on top of it and then spray water. This will keep the seeds properly moist which they need during the germination process. When the seedlings become bigger, you need to move them in a separate pot for additional drainage, and then you can use about 10 to 20% perlite in your regular potting mix. I prefer not to put vermiculite at this stage. Rather, I add some construction sand or fine sand in that medium, which will serve the purpose fairly well. Also, if you have a heavy or tight clay soil, there is no benefit of adding perlite to it. The soil will just crush the soft perlite over time. So in summary, both the perlite and vermiculite are good additive to your gardening needs. You just need to know what you are using them for. Thank you so much and see you next time in a brand new episode.